Welcome to today's video. In today's video, we'll be talking about how to use the fees payment area of our school portal. So first thing first, after you must have logged in, you scroll down to this section of the portal where you have fees. You click and then you get to see other sub menus under the fees menu. Now the very first thing you should do would be setting up your fees group. So coming down here, we have the interface for the fees group. This is very easy to do and it's quite straightforward. So now you just give the fees group a name. So let's say extra, let's go for extra curriculum, right? You could fill in a description or you could just leave it at that and then you save. Now you're leaving the description out because it is not a compulsory column. You don't necessarily need to fill in a description before you can create a fees group. So now after you've created a fees group, the next step you have to take will be going down to the fees type sub menu. Now in the fees type, maybe if a particular fee group has like other sub fees underneath, you use the fees type. So for now, let's use the excursion fees, because excursions are still under like extracurricular activities, right? So you select the fees group. You see, this is why you need to create a fees group before creating a fees type. The fees group menu, the fees group sub menu is actually very important. So after you've filled in, you select the fees group extracurriculum. Like I said, the description is optional. We really don't need that, so I'll just save. So now you can see our excursion fees is appearing under the fees type list, right? So now moving on, we have the fees invoice, right? The good thing about the fees invoice is that you could use it for payments, whether payments have been made or not. You could use this fees invoice area. So now we're going to be creating a fees invoice for a payment that has already been made. So going further, you click on the add menu, that's the add button, so you can create a fee invoice, because this what we have here is like the list of all the fees invoice in our system, right? Now you select a fee type depending on what you're creating the invoice for. So let's say extracurriculum activity, you select class. I think we'll just use primary 1. You select the students, let's use Uguche. Now you create a date, the date created, that's the date the invoice was created. We have today's date here. Now you need to also add a due date, and the thing about the system is that your due date has to be at least 1 day after the create date of your invoice. So if we should leave this due date as at today's date, there's a high chance that the system is going to give us an error message. So what you have to do would be you click on your calendar, then you select at least 1 day after today's date. But if you have, say, like a proper due date, you could use that. Okay, so now let's use Monday as the due date. Now the payment status, this payment status is very important because it's going to determine where and how you're going to be able to view your invoice, right? So now we're creating an invoice for full payments made. So let's say you just click on this, then select the payment method. Let's go with bank, select bank, let's go with EcoBank, and then you save. Yes, so now to view the invoice created, we are going to go back to bank payments, because we created an invoice for extracurricular activities, right? Date range, select class, select primary, and now status, let's say approved, because the invoice was for payment already made. So